David, simple question first, but it's the most interesting one. Talk us through the probabilities, winner of the presidency, House, Senate, and talk us through the likely permutations.
Sure. Oh, thank you for having me. Right now, we have the presidency at about 89% for Hillary Clinton and 11% for Donald Trump, obviously. The Senate at about 65, 66 for the Democrats, and the House at about 5 or 6% for the Democrats, about 95% for the Republicans. A couple of key points there. We start with the presidency. This is a market-based forecast, so it's using futures contracts along with the polling and other information. And it's basically assuming that Hillary Clinton is more likely than Donald Trump to exceed polling numbers. Right now, Donald Trump would have to exceed the polling numbers by a decent amount in a couple of states. And for that to happen, either the voters need to be more like his voters, or those people who turn out to vote need to be more supportive of him. And early voting does seem to indicate that Hillary Clinton's get out the vote advantage, more money, more people on the streets, is working. It seems unlikely that the voter population is going to be more favorable for Donald Trump than what we were estimating from the polling. And also, it seems that there's not much evidence for shy Trump voters yet, which is a good indication for Clinton. In the Senate, we're looking at literally a 50-50 split as the most likely option, which then puts a lot of information onto who's going to win the presidency.
David, why is there such a major difference between the polling and the betting markets and the forecasting, the simple forecasting?
The betting markets are able to look at information beyond the polling data. They're able to look at the get out the vote operations, they're able to look at the early voting, and they're able to look at a lot of these questions about how high will Latinos go for Clinton? How will these shy Trump voters turn out or not turn out? And it's really a question about, will there be polling error in her favor or his favor? And they're looking at that and saying, right now, no, it's really likely that the polling error will be in Clinton's favor, which will be a victory for the person who's already ahead.
David, if Hillary Clinton wins, but she loses both the Senate and the House, it's sort of Bill Clinton revisited, isn't it? Do we expect gridlock and politicking and all sorts of goings-on then in future years? Well, we do have markets for those as well, and obstructionism is what we're looking at right now. Obviously, this question about whether or not the Republicans would allow any candidate through for the Supreme Court is first on a lot of people's minds as a bellwether obstruction. And right now, we're looking at if the Democrats do not get 50 or more Senate seats with President Clinton, there is a non-negligible chance that they will continue to obstruct the currently open seat and any other future open seats. And so it's definitely something to be wary of.
What are the really popular trades right now, whether it's a punter on the street just taking a bet, or a professional trader, the spread betting, for example, or the down ballot races? Yep. What are the really interesting ones?
Well, look, so people are following, obviously, the top line betting. That's always a very popular thing to do. But there are markets out there for all 51 states, and they're getting a lot of action, especially in Florida and North Carolina, to an extent, even in Michigan and other states where Trump has been trying to push. But also, people are trying to bet on the spread, as you said. And there's a lot of action on whether or not Hillary Clinton will win by 4 or more percentage points, which seems to be somewhere around the break point at this point for the national estimation. And you're also seeing all sorts of betting about the ultimate makeup of the Congress versus the presidency. So to see whether or not we're going to have a divided leadership or not.